it was announced that NXT is going to be bringing more and more main roster talents over to NXT next week for their next episode. We're going to be seeing John Cena, Cody Rhodes, Paul Heyman, and Asuka. The last time John Cena was on NXT was May 3rd, 2013 with Damian Sandow in a dark segment. It wasn't televised, but there is some footage out there on YouTube. Ziggler was also on NXT and Randy Orton, as well as Chris Jericho also made an appearance in 2013 on NXT. John Cena, he's going to be in the corner with Carmelo Hayes, and Paul Heyman, he's going to be in the corner of Braun Breaker. Carmelo Hayes and Braun Breaker are scheduled to have a match next week on NXT, and Cody Rhodes was said to have an announcement on NXT. So of course, everyone is probably going to want to tune in to hear what Cody Rhodes has to say, and also Braun Breaker becoming a Paul Heyman guy. That should be really interesting. And also Asuka, she is set to have a one-on-one match versus Roxanne Perez. This really special edition of NXT is sparking a lot of controversy, is sparking a lot of talks amongst the wrestling fans, the AEW fans specifically. They believe that this is all being done just for the simple fact that AEW has moved their Dynamite show to Tuesday night for whatever reason it was. I believe it has to do with the NHL, with hockey or something like that, but AEW was forced to move their show to Tuesday night, and that's the reason why WWE is stacking their NXT shows. That could be true, and a lot of the AEW fans are really getting a kick out of this because of all the comments that have been said recently that AEW is a second brand company or is really not a competition to the WWE. But if that were true, then why is WWE stacking up their card for NXT on the same night that AEW just happens to televise their show on a Tuesday night as well? If AEW wasn't really a competition, if AEW was really this second-rate company, then why is WWE doing this to NXT? Now, even though that can be really understandable, and that is a really good point, is it a coincidence that WWE just so happened to say, hey, on this day, I'm just going to put all of these stars on NXT. It just so happens to land on the same day that AEW is doing a show on Tuesday night. Is that a coincidence? It's also been highly expected, and it's been talked about for months now that NXT is slowly transitioning into becoming that third brand for WWE, the top brand. And it's not going to be just the developmental system. It's not going to be under the SmackDown and Raw brands. WWE is looking to build up NXT as an equal to Raw and SmackDown, and they've been slowly working on that for months over time already. Since the TKO Endeavor deal closed, that was one of the things that was speculated, that NXT was going to change. A lot more main roster stars were going to go to and from NXT, and we have been seeing that. We've been seeing the Judgment Day. We've been seeing Baron Corbin has been down there in NXT for quite some time. Dolph Ziggler was down there. Becky Lynch is a NXT Women's Champion, and we've been seeing Dragon Lee, and we've been seeing a mixture of NXT talent and main roster talent going back and forth from Raw to SmackDown to NXT. So one could even say that this is already part of the plan, but the fact that John Cena and Cody Rhodes on the same night that AEW is doing their own show, I don't know, that seems like it's a little bit too much of a coincidence for me. But let me know what you guys think. Where do you guys land on this? Is WWE doing this to completely shut down AEW Dynamite? Is it time to admit that AEW is in competition with WWE? AEW just came back from having a really good pay-per-view from Wrestle Dream, which that is saying a lot, especially coming from me, who is really critical of wrestling, not just AEW, but WWE WWE as well. And I can honestly say that Wrestle Dream is probably the best pay-per-view AEW has ever had. Also, keep in mind, Adam Copeland, aka Edge, is also part of AEW now. He's supposed to have his debut match on that Dynamite on Title Tuesday. And it just seems like things are really heating up now between AEW and WWE, and it should be. Jade Cargill went to WWE. Cody Rhodes went to WWE. And there's been some talks that Ricky Starks might also join the WWE. And let's not forget MJF, the AEW World Champion. And a lot more stars from the WWE went to AEW. So yes, let these two companies compete with each other. Let them have these rating wars. Let's see it. Let's do it. It's good for everyone. If WWE wants to compete with AEW, then let them. Let it happen. I want to see it. We should all want to see this happen, and I'm excited for it. I wonder what the ratings are going to be. I know I'm going to be watching both. I don't know how that's going to play out yet. I might have to have one on my phone, one on the TV. I might have to record the other one and watch it later. I don't know, but either way, I'm going to be tuning into both. Let me know what you guys think about this at Snug Wrestling. Let's get into the fun stuff. Let's get into AEW Dynamite, the 4-year anniversary episode, October 4th in Stockton, California.